What's up guys, and welcome to my channel. Today we got a 2010 Nissan Murano in lean conditions. Customer is a parts store owner and he went and got me 2 oxygen sensors. He wants to replace one. He said the bank 1 is lean. The bank 2 is lean. He wants to change the upstream oxygen sensor. Upstream is the first oxygen sensor located before the manifold of the converter on the manifold. So one of these has to match up. He said he doesn't know which one it is. He's the parts guy, he's supposed to know, but I'm gonna match it up. 2, 3, 4, okay, there's different part numbers. And there's a part number, and there's a part number, and the brand is Denso. Okay, and he also wants me to clean the MAF sensor. So these are the typical things that you would do if you're having lean conditions. You also want to look for vacuum leaks, because a vacuum leak can cause lean conditions. But anyways, this is a mass airflow sensor cleaning spray. He got me that, so we're gonna take out the MAF sensor, clean it out, and plus we're gonna replace the oxygen sensor. But I'm scanning the car myself. Let's see what kind of codes we got, so you can know if we have the same codes and that's successful. And most likely this is what I would do too if I diagnosed the car, if it was a lean conditions. And sometimes it could be a vacuum leak, but the customer doesn't want me to go check for vacuum leak. But I will check for small hoses and pipes if there's anything leak, okay? Anyways, let's get inside the car. Okay, so inside this, I do have my scan tool hooked up. And we might have a code in here. And let's see what the code is. There it is. 170 P0174 is hard for this thing to detect. It has 2 codes, 174. Let's go down, 174. Same code, okay, twice. Alright, so that's what it is, 174, P0174. And we're gonna turn the key off. Let's pull off our scan tool. Leave it here because we're gonna reset it. Anyways, if you need to get a scan tool such as this, it's like 80 bucks from Snap-on. This is made by Blue Point. Snap-on sells it. But let's close the door, or let's pop the hood. And all right guys, so let's pop the hood open. So first of all, your MAF airflow sensors right here. You also want to check for like vacuum leaks, if any pipes and hoses are loose. Sometimes this duct pipe here will get cracked if you have lean condition. This duct pipe, so any air skips beyond this sensor is going to cause a lean. Also your oxygen sensor, but even this mass airflow sensor is going to cause it if it's dirty. But anyhow, our oxygen sensor is located all the way down there for bank 2. Bank 1 is over there. This is bank 2. So we're gonna have to reach it from right here, and hopefully my camera can see. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take off this 10 and this 10, and this whole mechanism right here for the air flow of the intake will come off. All right, this is something you could do yourself, so do not hesitate. I'm gonna show you every single step that I take. So just take off the number 10 over here. This is a 10mm socket. You could use a ratchet, long bolt, and it's gonna be a long bolt here. And there you go. And after that, you simply let's put this somewhere safe right here. And you're gonna have to get this, just be careful with the radiator cap. Just get that out of there. And you're gonna pull this out from this end. Simply, it's gonna come right out of that little housing. And you see that? It comes right out of that housing from right there. And this thing just comes right off. Put it to the side. So now we got our oxygen sensor looking right at us right there. That's the oxygen sensor right there, this little guy. So we're gonna go get a socket, and let's take out the connector first. All right, so the connector is right up here. To take out this connector, all you need to do is you're gonna push on this tab right here really hard with one hand. I might not be, oh, I got it with one hand. So you push down on this tab really hard and pull the connector out of it. And we're like almost like 90% of the way done. All we need to do is take out that little sensor. I'm gonna go get some sockets. So I went and got me some tools. I got this socket is 7/8 of an inch, and it has this slot here because the cable for the sensor goes right through. Let me show you how this works. This is how this works. So this goes right through here, and it goes right onto the sensor, just like that. And then you put your tool in the back and turn it out. And in the back, I am going to be using these two extensions. This one is a little wobbly head, so once it's in there, it wobbles around a little bit, so that way it doesn't have to be straight. It could be an angle. It wobbles around a little bit, so that's what I'm using there. So let me get this on, because it's going to be hard for the camera to see down there. So once it's on, if this wobbly head doesn't work, then I might use the swivel. So I'm definitely going to go get a swivel. So we're going to use this swivel in front of this socket here. So this is going to go here, okay? And then I'm going to put the extension in back of that. That should give me more than enough angle to maneuver this thing around in any angle I want. So let me have this set up and then we'll continue. Okay, so there's my extension sitting right there, and all that on there, we got our oxygen sensor connected to the socket right there. And I'm gonna put a ratchet on the top and turn it. Now from up here, we're gonna turn it. I'm gonna be using this three to drive of a ratchet here. So we're gonna go counterclockwise, and once the thread is loose, you should be. Sometimes these oxygen sensors are not easy to come off, but it's loose. Now it's so loose that I'm able to move it around with the hand. And but we're gonna put. Whoop, there goes my socket. Almost fell down, but I can see it. Didn't go too far. Didn't go too far. There's my socket. Put it up here. Let's take the camera inside. Alright, so sensor is all loose, and I should be able to just turn it out by hand. And here comes the oxygen sensor. So notice the customer brought me two sensors. So there's the one in the bag. It looked weird. They got that little big washer in the front. So this is not even it. And here's the part number of the one that we have here. That's the part number. Denso. That's what we're using. And what we're gonna do is it does have a little bit of anti-seize already on there, so we don't need to put anything. And it does come with a little package right there, that little brown package, if you want to put that on. But this one has some on it. I don't know why they did that, but I can see the bores of the catalytic converter and they look pretty good. Anyways, that's okay. So if you were to match up this sensor, what you would be looking at is all this crazy stuff. You see this? This is what you'll be looking at. All right. And see the holes, the front, those are the things you would look at just to match up a sensor. I had somebody come in, but anyways, time for us to put this sensor back in. So you're simply gonna take your hand and you're gonna guide this sensor to the bottom where it belongs, and you're gonna simply just turn it and catch the threads. The harness is gonna bother you a little bit. That's okay. If you can have somebody help you hold the harness up for you, that's another thing. But since I'm using a camera, I cannot use both hands. I'm holding the camera with the other hand, but I should be able to catch one or two threads. This harness is making it difficult. It's turning it back. That's what it's doing for me. It's just twisting it right back. Okay, but I got it. There you go. I'm gonna try to snug it all the way, and then the tool will do the job. So there is a torque specs. Usually these are like 32 foot-pounds. So if you want to torque it, you can torque these sensors. Every vehicle has a different specs. But today, I know you guys don't have all the tools. I am gonna just simply tighten it. So next is time for my socket to go. So you do not want to damage the harness, or try to get it as good as possible so the harness can just turn with it. It cannot be stuck anywhere. Okay, so here comes our extensions. and simply gonna turn this and lock up the sensor. Okay, now we're gonna turn this clockwise. Okay, just be careful your sensor and the socket is sitting properly, and just turn it, give it nice and good snug. This is a big ratchet, that's a lot of leverage. We do not want to damage anything. And then we're gonna simply just pull out our tools. My socket is stuck on it, and there you go, the socket's out. So this job is almost done, so let's put everything back together. All right, sensor is locked in, and do not forget to put this connector. It only goes one way, so you cannot go wrong. See this little tip right there? That goes according to that. You should hear a small little click, should lock in, and make sure you stick your sensor right over here so it doesn't touch the fan and does not damage anything else. Right into this clip right here. Okay, so I'm gonna get that sensor right there because I'm gonna use both hands to push that in there. But anyways, somebody must have worked on this. Look at this. I'll fix that up for him. But anyways, let me get this thing in, and then well, simply just take it off right now. The people out there that will not do the job properly. This probably was dealer. He had a warranty. All right, so that wasn't hard, guys. Was that hard? One bolt. I had a Jeep one time, SRT. This thing went down and touched the fan, and the pipe got cut with a $500 bill because that's the car you gotta bleed and everything. So let me get that in, and then we're gonna put the rest of the stuff together. Okay, now we're gonna take this little guy, and we're gonna stick this little guy right in there. So this guy has to go inside there. I'm sure you're able to guide this guy right there. This sits in there. This side is a little bit difficult because this cap, do not take off the cap, because if you have a lot of pressure and it's hot, ooh, clip. It's okay, clip popped up. Just move it up or remove the clips, and then this thing should just sit flush, nice and good. I'm gonna have to put that clip. I'll get another clip to put it right over here, or smack this one back in. There you go. All right, remember the two number 10s. This little guy goes right there, and that guy goes right there. I have not cut threads yet, so do not tighten anything unless you're so sure that you caught threads. Okay, after that, bang it out. And this side, like I said, is gonna be a little bit difficult. Bang it out. And next, what we're gonna do is, the customer does want me to, whoa, the hood is coming down on me. He does want me to clean this mass airflow sensor, so we're gonna take off that connector. So you push on this really hard, this comes off, and it has two number, probably 8 or 7. So let me match up a socket. Okay, so even though we don't have any codes for MAF sensor, customer doesn't want that. So we're gonna take this off, and this is number 7. This Nissan Murano is a number 7. So once you're loosening it up a little bit, just try not to drop the bolts because they're really tiny. Because you drop them, you might not just find them. And the sensor does go one way, because if you put it the wrong way, it will read crazy reading. And I'm gonna show you how to figure that one out. Just try to mark it if you can, but I don't think you can put it the wrong way because the sensor only gonna go one way. So let's take this somewhere safe. I'll put it right here on this tire machine, and let's take off the second one. They're both the same length, same size, same everything, so don't worry about mixing the bolts up. And the sensor's not gonna fall out once you have this off, because this goes really deep into the housing. Up, 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 up. And the little guy is out. All right, after that, you simply just take this and pull it out. It's gonna be a long sensor. That's how big it is. So all we're gonna do is, we're gonna see the little contacts inside. We're gonna just clean those. Clean this right there. Spray it down a little bit. Let's put it here softly and gently. rinse it out. So rinse it out, wait a little bit, and then give it a good 5 minutes. I'm gonna come back once it dries up in 5 minutes. So a few minutes later, give it another touch. And we're gonna wait a little bit more and we'll continue. While our sensors dry up, what I want you to do is I want you to clean up all around over here where the seal is gonna sit, because the seal does need to sit flush. So clean up this whole area right there. And once you're clean, you're gonna take this sensor, okay? And this sensor only gonna go one way. If you try to put it the other way around, it's gonna be wrong. So just try to remember your connector was connected to these little notches here. This facing upward. And so make sure you have it the same direction. And you take this sensor and you slide it back in. Make sure it sits nice and flush. And then we'll get our 2 little tiny bolts that I might drop. I got that little feeling right now. I might gonna drop this little guy. So your car might start up sluggish if you start it up immediately. So that's why I would suggest let it dry off a little bit, and then after that run the car for a little bit, and then reset the light afterward, because it's gonna pick up a little bit of fault information in the beginning. And so give it a good 5-10 minutes, drive it around the block, come back, reset the light, because like I said, immediately it's gonna pick up false information, because it's gonna get false information from the temperature, because that spray, remember, it's nice and cold. It's gonna give it faulty reading. So now what I want you to do is take your ratchet, do not just tighten the heck out of one bolt, take turns. Turn, 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 turn. So that way your seal is snugged in nicely and evenly, and there's no escaping of air right through here, okay? So after that, just snug it. You don't have to be crazy. Don't go crazy, you'll crack the housing, air duct housing right here. And after that, make sure you connect your sensor and make sure it goes click, just like that. All right, like I said, start the car for a little bit. Do not run it immediately. Do not reset immediately. Let it run. Pick up the information. Reset later on. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. See you in the next one.